Americans buy over 100 million cans of green beans every year, and most of you are choosing the wrong ones. While you've been mindlessly tossing the same brand into your cart for years, some truly questionable products have been squeaking their way onto grocery store shelves. Literally. We're talking green beans that sound like styrofoam when you chew them, beans that taste more like the can they came in than actual vegetables, and products so aggressively mediocre they make cafeteria food look gourmet. We consume millions of cans annually for casseroles, their side dishes, and holiday meals, but most of you are getting it wrong. So let's talk about the 8 canned green beans that range from borderline inedible to surprisingly decent and figure out which ones deserve a spot in your pantry. Because life's too short to eat mushy, metallic vegetables that make you question your life choices. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously disappointing side dishes. Number 8. Hanover cut green beans. Launched as a regional mid-Atlantic brand, Hanover only offers these in bulk size 101-ounce commercial cans. This immediately tells you they're targeting institutions in food service, not your family dinner table. But even at institutional scale, the execution reads more like culinary punishment. Here's what you actually get: cut green beans with a strange plasticky texture that literally squeaks when you chew them. The beans make an audible noise against your teeth, like biting into styrofoam or rubber bands. The taste profile is watery and bland, with notes of something distinctly waxy that lingers unpleasantly. And get this, customer reviews describe these as stringy to the point it tasted like chewing hard plastic. One family dinner ended with a daughter almost choking and everyone spitting the beans out. The complaints are consistent: full of strings, several stems in them, quality control. Lacking. These were ranked dead last in Daily Meal's 12-brand professional taste test by a reviewer with 15 years food industry experience. At $2.92 for the bulk can, the pricing isn't terrible, but it's wasted money regardless. Hanover survives on decades of regional brand loyalty, particularly among older consumers who remember when the quality was better. The bulk-only sizing reveals their real market: institutional food service, where cost trumps quality and nobody's writing reviews. They're banking on brand recognition and the fact that schools and hospitals aren't known for culinary standards. When your green beans make squeaking noises like chewing on rubber gloves, you've created a textural nightmare that no amount of seasoning can fix. Number 7. Great Value Cut Green Beans. As Walmart's budget store brand, Great Value Cut green beans cost just 50 cents per can. They're rock bottom cheap, which should have been your first warning. These were ranked at or near the bottom in 3 separate professional taste tests. That's not coincidence, that's consensus. The moment you pop the can open, a distinctly tinny, metallic smell hits you. It's aggressive and off-putting. The initial texture seems acceptable, but the beans literally fall apart during cooking and turn to mush. The taste is chemically artificial, more reminiscent of plastic than vegetables. One reviewer described it perfectly: old tomato. No fresh or earthy green bean taste comes through. Just chemicals and regret. One professional taster could only stomach a single bean before stopping the test entirely. The sodium content sits around 300 to 350 milligrams per serving, 15% of your daily value. At 50 cents per can, you're paying pennies but receiving a product that fails the basic definition of food. Bottom line, Walmart's Great Value line exists purely to win on price, targeting extreme price-conscious shoppers who prioritize cost over literally everything else. They're counting on you being too broke or too busy to care that you're eating industrially processed disappointment. The 50-cent price point creates a psychological trap where you think you're saving money, when the most notable thing about your green beans is the metallic smell that assaults you upon opening. You failed on a fundamental level. 50 cents buys you a can of regret wrapped in false economy. Number 6. Amazon Fresh Cut Green Beans. Amazon Fresh represents the e-commerce giant's attempt to muscle into the grocery space. These cut green beans are shipping only, arriving at your door in frequently damaged cans. At just under $1 per can, they're competitively priced, but that means nothing when the product inside is compromised. What you get: nice dark green coloring that looks promising until you actually taste them. The texture is soggy and waxy throughout, but here's where it gets tricky. The first few bites have a genuinely fresh taste that tricks you into hope. Then the rest tastes watery with almost no flavor. It's like they front-loaded the good beans at the top. This is the second Amazon Fresh product the Daily Meal reviewer tried. and both arrive banged up and damaged. The shipping damage is endemic to the model. These have to be delivered to your home, and the cans frequently show up dented. Adding extra salt helped mildly, but not enough to make them good. The real kicker is that Amazon is leveraging Prime membership convenience to move products that can't compete on grocery store shelves. The shipping-only model creates damage issues they haven't solved. They're banking on Prime members prioritizing convenience over quality. When the best thing about your green beans is the dark green color in the first 2 bites, you've created a masterclass in disappointing follow-through. Soggy disappointment delivered to your door isn't innovation, it's just regular failure with free shipping. Number 5. Allen's Cut Green Beans. Allen's is a Southern heritage brand owned by Seneca Foods, trading heavily on nostalgia and regional loyalty. They position themselves as authentic Southern vegetables, but the quality suggests they remember tradition better than they execute it. Priced around $1 to $1.25 per can, they're sitting in budget territory. What you get? Cut green beans with dull, yellowed coloring that looks tired before you even heat them up. The texture is mushy and limp with no structural integrity. The taste is extremely bland with almost no flavor profile. Even salt doesn't help bring any character forward. Tasting Table ranked these near the bottom, noting that both texture and taste problems were working against them. The reviewer assessed that adding a touch more salt might make them edible, emphasis on might. Multiple testers described the yellowed, dull appearance that makes them visually unappealing from the start. What makes this particularly disappointing is that Allen survives by trading on Southern heritage and nostalgia, targeting consumers whose grandparents used the brand and passed down misplaced loyalty. They're counting on regional pride, and that's what Mama U's thinking to move products that can't compete on actual quality. Quality has clearly declined while they lean harder into heritage marketing. When even a generous application of salt can't rescue your vegetables from blandness and mushy meats limp in textural defeat, you've achieved impressive mediocrity. Trading on Southern tradition while delivering elementary school cafeteria quality isn't heritage. It's fraud with a drawl. If this is already saving you from bland vegetables, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 4. Smart Way. Cut green beans. Smart Way is Kroger's opening price point line launched in 2022 to compete directly with Walmart's great value. The boring, white and yellow branding screams we spent $0 on design. At under $1 per can, these occupied the same bottom-feeding price tier as our worst offenders, but somehow managed to be slightly less terrible. What you get? Standard cut green beans with dull, yellowed coloring. Here's the one bright spot. They're perky with a nice bite, maintaining some structural integrity unlike cheaper options. The taste is pretty dull, natural flavor that barely registers. The minimal salt does nothing to help. The Tasting Table reviewer approached these with low expectations that were exactly met. No surprises, no delight, just functional edibility. Direct quote, "You get what you pay for, it don't set your expectations too high." Smart Way exists because Kroger saw Walmart eating their lunch on price and needed a horse in the race to the bottom. The 2022 launch timing shows this is reactive strategy, not quality-driven product development. They're targeting price-sensitive shoppers who've given up on quality and just need edible calories. When your vegetables' only positive quality is perky texture and the overall assessment is mediocre at best, you've achieved the bare minimum of edibility. Budget beans that know their place at the bottom are at least honest about what you're getting. Number 3, Green Valley Organics. Cut green beans. Green Valley Organics enters the market with organic certification and premium pricing. At approximately $1.50 to $2 per can, you're paying a significant premium over budget options. But organic certification doesn't automatically mean flavor, and these beans prove that point definitively. What you get? Organically certified cut green beans with a waxy, oddly chewy texture. The taste profile is very bland, almost like the ghost of a green bean instead of the real deal according to testers. The flavor is so faint it barely registers, requiring added salt and butter just to be edible. The Daily Meal. Testers' first experience with the brand left them not totally sure how to feel, damning with faint confusion. Direct tester quote describes them as the ghost of a green bean, suggesting the flavor died somewhere in processing. The waxy texture is consistently cited across reviews. The sodium is lower than conventional at around 200 milligrams, but that doesn't help when there's no flavor. Organic premium pricing commands $1.50 or more while delivering less taste than cheaper options. Green Valley Organics targets health-conscious shoppers who equate organic with better and are willing to pay premium prices for certification. The brand is banking on organic labeling doing the marketing work while the product inside coasts on consumer assumptions. When your green beans are described as a ghost haunting a can, present but barely perceptible, you've extracted all life from vegetables during processing. Paying organic premiums for bland, waxy disappointment isn't health-conscious shopping, it's throwing money at marketing buzzwords. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2, Del Monte Fresh, cut Blue Lake, cut green beans. Del Monte has dominated the canned vegetable market since 1886, making them the establishment player with 13 decades of experience. Their fresh-cut Blue Lake cut green beans feature the Blue Lake variety, which is considered premium. At $1.57 per 14.5-ounce can, they're mid-price and widely available. What you get: meaty, substantial beans with good length that's basically bite-sized. The texture is soft but not mushy, maintaining enough structure to feel like actual vegetables. The taste has a slight sweetness that hints at actual natural origin. Totally inoffensive and neutral flavor with just enough salinity. Sporked ranked Del Monte cut as number 1 overall, calling them pretty. Much perfect for canned green beans. 4.5 to 4.7 stars across 1,800 plus Walmart customer reviews backs that up. Key tester quote, "Don't taste overtly of can," which is genuinely high praise. Multiple varieties are available: cut, French style, Italian, whole, and Southern style. Sodium sits at 300 milligrams per serving, 13% daily value. Standard, but not excessive. 20 calories per serving makes them genuinely low calorie. Important caveat, their French style version gets criticized for having a fermented veggie flavor, so stick with cut. Del Monte's 138-year dominance comes from understanding that canned vegetables don't need to be spectacular. They need to be reliably not terrible. The Blue Lake variety positioning shows they're using premium bean types while keeping prices accessible. When you've spent over a century figuring out how to make vegetables taste like vegetables instead of tin cans, you earn your market dominance honestly. Del Monte understands the assignment and nails it consistently. Number 1, Kroger Simple Truth Organic Cut. Green beans. Simple Truth Organic is Kroger's premium organic line launched to compete with Whole Foods without Whole Foods prices. These organic cut green beans won Mashed's comprehensive 11-brand taste test in November 2023. At $1.50 per can, they're priced competitively with conventional premium options while delivering organic certification. What you get: organically certified cut green beans with sturdy, fresh texture that actually holds up. The texture isn't mush at all. These maintain structural integrity through heating and serving. The taste is natural and fresh with the right amount of salt. Most importantly, they actually taste like green beans. Zero metallic flavor, which is huge, because that's the death of most canned vegetables. Ranked number 1 in Mashed's November 2023 comprehensive taste test of 11 brands. The tester praised them as a great pantry staple worth stocking. The standout quote actually tastes like green beans, which shouldn't be noteworthy but absolutely is for canned products. They're packed in water and sea salt. An unsalted version is also available for people monitoring sodium. Kroger is one of the best grocery stores for buying organic food, according to industry analysis. The $1.50 price point delivers organic certification without excessive premium. Kroger launched Simple Truth to capture the organic market boom without ceding ground to Whole Foods and specialty retailers. The quality matching or exceeding name brands demonstrates that store brands can compete at premium tiers, not just budget levels. When your store brand canned vegetables actually taste like the vegetables they're supposed to be, you've achieved what most name brands can't. Proof that organic can mean both quality and value. Simple Truth wins by understanding that canned doesn't have to mean compromise. Here's what shocked me most about ranking canned vegetables. The price has almost nothing to do with quality. We've got beans that literally squeak when you chew them living on the same shelf as beans that could pass for fresh in a casserole. The worst offenders aren't just bad, they're borderline inedible chemistry experiments that make you question if you're eating food or industrial byproducts. Meanwhile, the winners prove that canned doesn't automatically mean compromise. Hanover's squeaking nightmares at number 8 represent everything wrong with institutional food service mentality, while Simple Truth Organic at number 1 shows that store brands can actually nail quality when they try. Read the sodium content first, don't trust brand loyalty your grandparents passed down, and remember that sometimes the store brand genuinely beats the name brand. Organic certification means nothing if the flavor died in processing. Hit subscribe if this changed your shopping list, and drop a comment telling us which canned vegetable we should rank next.